Hi and happy Thursday night, everybody. This is Christine Bertram, and I'm coming to you live from my makeshift hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. We are getting super close, super close to being in the real hive. It's going to happen in the next week or so, and that is super exciting. And I'm live. It says it on my phone. It took a little bit to come through, but I've learned if I wait, it pops up in my bar at the top of my phone. So that's awesome. So I got a couple people watching, but oh yeah, so it's really weird to say that. It's gonna be the end of my my back bedroom here is where I've been stamping with you since I would have to say May 27th. Hi Jewel. And I have to work on the internet out there just to make sure. I need to get on the horn and start practicing some lives out there and see how the internet works. Hi, Donna from Louisiana. Thanks for sharing. So I have some boosters that I bought. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Angela. Hi, Kathy from Iola, Wisconsin. I bought some boosters for out in the she shed, so satellites, I guess you could say. So they feed off of my router in the house, and hopefully I have internet out there. So Angela and Brandon are ready to stamp. Yay! Hi, Linda Hodge. Hi, Sandy from California. So some exciting stuff is the flooring got done. You guys probably were like, what's going on with this she shed? She hasn't been talking about it much. And I was like in a little bit of a standstill. Hi, Aunt March. Hi, Debbie. I was a little bit of a standstill because I'm waiting on my Amish man. And it was like, oh, my mom says, just be patient. You know, it's been a little bit stressful waiting on him, but the end result is going to be really good. I'm like, yes, Mom. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Sandy from Little Chute, my backyard. Hi, Sherry Berry. Yay, you're going to be stamping with me tonight, Sherry. Hi, Julie. Hi, Cindy. So the flooring got done. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It looks so beautiful. I took pictures. So my Amish man was here today. Hi, Randy. Thanks for sharing. He was here today with my dad, and he put a little door handle on one of the doors, or a drawer. It was actually the drawer handle. And so, yay! He's coming back tomorrow to put more hardware on. There's a lot of it, you guys. I have 70 feet worth of cabinets that got put in. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Mike. Thanks for sharing, everybody. You guys are rocking it with sharing right away. I appreciate it. Hi, Ruth from Indiana. So we got the flooring done completely. We crossed it off the list, finally. And then cabinets, he's going to be back tomorrow. Hi, Brenda from Texas. He's going to be back tomorrow. And I think the main goal was to get all the drawers and the doors done, and like he's got to install some stuff yet. So, and all the hardware. So he's got a very busy day tomorrow, but whew, so exciting. And then my builder's going to come back and put all the trim up around the doors and the windows, and it's wrapping up, guys. So what does that mean? That means that this around me is not going to be seen very much going forward. I am anticipating my first live in the hive will be the Stampin' Game Night, but I'm a little bit concerned doing that as my first event in the hive unless I am 100% confident that the internet won't go out on me. Hi, Frida. So you know how that goes, right? You don't want to leave your up to chance on the first night you do something. That's a bigger thing. So lo and behold, my last in-person class in my house is going to be this weekend. I have a card buffet that we're doing, and I have Saturday and then Sunday morning and then Sunday afternoon, and that's going to be it. Then I'm off of classes for like in-person classes. Thanks for sharing, Robin. I'm off of in-person classes until December 2nd. So guess what that means, guys? That means I'm moving in, moving out there. And I'm getting my house back. Hi, Gloria from Missouri. So can you tell I'm a little bit excited, right? So hi, Janet from Indiana. Oh, yes. Oh, Robin from Timmins on Canada. Okay, Denise is watching too. You guys are all rolling in here. So a couple updates. So did you guys see Kelly's Technique Thursday today using the Stamparatus? How many of you have a Stamparatus? have you used it before? That is probably the better question. Like, how many times do we buy things and then we're like, well, how do we use this? Or why did I buy this? And so we've made a list of different things that we want to show you. Like, why did I buy this? And then the Stamparatus was one of them. So she did a hinged step technique where there's slots in the Stamparatus and you just put your plate down and it gives you a perfectly lined stamped image like 4 times. Super cool. I think you could even probably do up to 5 times. So hi, Sue. So she did that technique Thursday, and our tip Tuesday was awesome. She reminded us that we don't have to lick our envelopes this Christmas season, right? How many of you are sending out Christmas cards? How many of you have a lot of Christmas cards to send out and you don't want to lick those envelopes, right? So get out your aqua painter and just use your aqua painter and you're good to go with that. Don't be licking all those envelopes, right? So if you guys have any questions about the Stamparatus or using aqua painters, just hit me up. You can hit Kelly up. We're both watching a page closely throughout the day. And we're always here to help you. So if you are in the search of a Stamparatus, you can get them through me as well. I'm honored to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator if you are looking for one. So hi. So yes, Linda, you use self-sealing envelopes. You're a good girl. So I just ordered all self-sealing envelopes for my Christmas cards this year. So yay to that. They now that I think about, they were supposed to be delivered this week, those envelopes. So I get big envelopes that are 5 by 7 because when I send out my Christmas cards, I'm sorry guys, I don't handwrite in them on the card, but you'll be happy I put on a Post-it note so then you can use my Christmas card. It's basically a gift. So I go through my whole customer database, and anybody who's purchased from me this past year, I send a Christmas card to, and my whole team. So isn't that exciting? So I know a lot of you will be getting Christmas cards from me. Hi, Christy from Washington. Hi, Debbie Michael from North Carolina. Yay. Oh, so a bunch of people sound like they have Stamparatuses. So that's awesome. So if you missed those videos, shoot back into the videos tab on the Cards by Christine page and you can find all those that I just talked about and then past ones as well. So, all right, I want to flip my camera down because I want to show you. I know that not everybody's local, but if you are local, I got a hot mess of stuff going down here, guys. So you're going to have to like work with me while I make it through everything. But I have my last class in my house this weekend. So if you're local and you'd like to sign up for the card buffet, you definitely can. So sad face to people who aren't local, but I did not plan for this to be an online class with all that I have going on. I did this one strictly in person. And so if you are local and you want to sign up, let me know soon. I planned extra card kits. So this is my card buffet. Oh, I should move that up just a little bit. This is my card buffet. And how I do my card buffet is you pick from this selection of cards and you can choose different quantities of cards. So if you want 2, 1, 1, or 2, 1, 1, it's completely up to you, any combination of cards. This one's super cool because it is actually a gift card holder. Janet made all of her cards stamped and they're ready to go. Oh my God, Janet, you need to come up here. I'm anticipating sending out 300 cards. And that's not the 100 that I helped my mom with for her cards. So look at this, isn't this super cool? It's for a gift card holder that fits a gift card or cash. Cold hard cash is always good too. So these are the card buffet cards. Hi, Mary Ellen from Montana. So yes, these are fun cards, and I am so excited and sad at the same time that this is actually going to be my last class in my house. I get my living room and dining room back this weekend, after this weekend, guys. Okay, so just a reminder. Okay, so tonight we're going to be doing these cards in a little bit. So I know a bunch of you signed up for that class, but as long as I got you, I want to remind you that the Stampin' Game Night and Card Workshop is coming up on December 3rd. We talked about that. It's about 2 weeks from tonight. Oh my goodness. And I'm taking registration yet for this class. You're going to make 4 cards. You play games with me, and those are always fun. Okay, this is my absolute favorite card out of this whole lot. I just love this card. Oh, it just makes me happy looking at this card. These are pretty too, but there's just something about that card that gets me going. And so you would get a goodie bag with this, and your goodie bag is included some of the materials that you'll need to make your cards. The price point is really good. It's $32. You get 4 cards, a $15 goodie bag, and then the extra $10 is used to buy prizes. And if you're not local and I mail it, then there's an extra $8 charge for mailing. But what I have for prizes, guys, this is why I have a hot mess going on. So because I attended On Stage for Stampin' Up, I could get, yes, Bobby's all signed up for game night. I could get some product out of the new spring catalog. So anybody who attended On Stage got the copy of the spring catalog and the celebration catalog. Oh my goodness, here they are. And so I was able to pre-order. So one of the prize, and now this is based off of 15 people signed up. I'm hoping to get 5 to 8 more people signed up, but based off of my current numbers, I have these prizes, and I will add to the lot if I have more people sign up. So one of the prize packages is going to be this new, it's well-suited designer series paper. So it's Manly Man paper. And then there's some linen, what is this? Baker's twine. It's really thin baker's twine in basic gray and night of navy. Oh, Faye's sending 40 to 60 Christmas cards. You rock, Faye. That's awesome. Another prize is part of the art gallery suite that's brand new. And it's a painted texture embossing folder accompanied by some of this really sparkly, it's actually bedazzly ribbon. It's got gold and like linen kind of mixed throughout. And that one is, let's see here if there's an English name on it. Fine art ribbon. So that's one prize package. Oh my gosh. Who loves succulents? This is one of the prize packages. So it's a stamp set. There are going to be dies that go, if I get more people signed up, what I'm thinking I might do is I add the dies to this one. There's also dies that go with this one. But for right now, based off of my money that I have saved up from this is one of the prize packages. All these awesome words. And the last one is a Garden Wishes stamp set. And they're, again, matching dies. So these are the 5 prizes that I'll have for game night. So nobody really has these unless you signed up for On Stage and you attended and you're a demonstrator. And that would be cool too. If you are a demonstrator, you can join me for any of my classes. You guys know that. So I love everybody. So, oh, Christy, your Christmas cards are all done and waiting for me to make them out and send. Perfect. Good job. We are getting down to the wire with Christmas cards, guys. So Christmas is like, what, a month away? So Faye, you tried to register today. And so what happened, so you got to your card after selecting numbers, need to hear from you. Okay, so Faye, I saw that the link, I replied to your comment that for some reason the little word "and" got in there. So if you're still awake, and gonna be up for a half hour after I'm done with class, we can connect after class. That would be great. I don't know how early people go to bed or not. So, okay. Oh, Mikey went to On Stage and it was so much fun. That's awesome. Okay. So then the next cards that I have to show you really quick too are the snowflake cards that are coming up. So tonight is Poinsettia. So every month I always feature a bundle. Tonight, the November one is Poinsettia. Next month is the Snowflake Splendor Suite. And so I picked 4 different color themes for these cards. Guys, sign up early. It will really help me plan better. I had to turn 8 people away for these set of cards because people didn't register by my deadline, so I could prepare and plan ahead of time. So it's just better to make sure you RSVP with me for these cards early versus later so I can make sure I don't have to say no to people. All right, then one more thing I want to talk to you guys about. So I know that a lot of you guys that watch me are demonstrators. We all love stamping. We all love getting together, interacting, creating. And I know that there aren't demonstrators that watch me. I get a lot of everybody. So I am planning, and I mentioned this a couple times already, but I'm planning a winter creative escape. It's like an on-stage meets a retreat with people who are all crazy crafters with the same thing in mind. They want to create and have fun and just be inspired. And this is the one that I'm waiting for. So, oh, good. Yes. You guys have been waiting for Poinsettia for a long time. Yes, I know. Me too. So I have an event in January, and it is for demonstrators only. So if you're a demonstrator, you can sign up for this event. And if you're not a demonstrator and you'd like to be on my Be Happy Stampers team, I would be honored for you to be on my team. And you could then attend this event. And I'm going to flip this down so you guys can kind of see. Like, this just says it all. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be like in the sun and like down in Florida or anything, but we're escaping the winter blues, right? So it's the second annual, and registration goes through December 16th or until capacity is reached. And you will get a $50 goodie bag. So all of this information is on my website. If you're wondering, just go to cardsbychrisb.com, go to my calendar of events, and scroll to January. And I wrote a book. It's got all the details. And it's going to be online, kind of like what we do right now, where you watch on Facebook. And I'm going to have 4 creative presentations that are going to be amazing. They're going to blow your mind because the people that are doing them are so creative and crafty. I have 2 demonstrators who are presenting business training. Kelly Atchison and Dina Rico. And then I have 10 make and takes. So you guys, if you like my cards and my style, I'm doing 10 make and takes for this event, plus a sampler. You get a $50 goodie bag, and with that $50 goodie bag includes a celebration item. So it's more like a $60 goodie bag. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be live in person, and everything is going to be recorded to the Facebook group. So I have a private Facebook group for anybody who signs up, and you're going to have access to those videos for as long as Facebook exists, probably. That's how it works. You can watch them live that weekend, or you can watch the replays in case you don't make it. And then I'll be mailing out all the boxes because you're going to get Prize Patrol, right? Yay, who doesn't love Prize Patrol? You're going to get a box then mailed to you. It'll probably go in the mail the Monday or the Tuesday after that weekend, because I'll include all of your extra goodies that we work on that weekend. So it's going to be fun. It is definitely worth the value. It's $150. You get a $50 goodie bag and all of the stuff that goes with it. So fun, fun, fun. So I, again, would love for people to register for that sooner rather than later so I can plan accordingly. Planning is always the hardest part, right, guys? Okay. So, I have a list. Next class too, Paper Pumpkin, you guys. So next week is Thanksgiving in the US. So I will not be live on Thursday evening. I will most likely be sitting at my parents' house playing games with them. We have a small little group that's getting together for Thanksgiving, and I'm taking the night off, but I'm giving you Monday night instead. We're going to put the Paper Pumpkin together, and I got mine in the mail today. Yay! Who else got theirs? Hi, Melanie. So Brenda, the event is both. It's in person and it's virtual. So if you want to fly up to Wisconsin and like COVID is like just like little bit like less at that time, I have no idea what's going to happen with COVID. I'm just going to hope and pray that everything goes good. But I'm offering it to virtual people, so online and to in person, because I have about 25 people in person already and I have about 10 online. So I'm going to cap it around 50 to 60. So again, just sign up early and it'll guarantee you a spot. So let's see here. Carol, demonstrator from Michigan. I have been love doing retreats. You guys, can you see I'm trying to read? I've done lots since, Carol's looking forward to mine. Yay, that means she might sign up. Yay. So yes, again, sign up early for that. So Paper Pumpkin is Monday night, okay? Then the following Monday, so I don't have anything then between Monday and then the next Monday, but Mystery Card Night, Mystery Card Night is the 30th of November. If you're not sure what Mystery Card Night is, go either to my Facebook page or go to my calendar of events for November 30th. And you need to accumulate pieces of paper and matching ribbons and your adhesives and have everything cut, and we'll make a card together on Monday night. It's a free class. All my online classes are free. You guys know that. So that's the 30th, and then that Thursday then is game night. So all right, just to kind of prepare you for what's coming up next week so you are not looking for me next Thursday. All right, let me look to see what else I got on here. Paper Pumpkin next week, Mystery Night, Winter Creative Escape, Game Night in person. Okay, Lucky Hand. So I am doing an in-person version of the game night on the 2nd. So in case anybody's local and wants to do game night with me in person, that's the 2nd. There's a sale coming up too, and then we'll get started, guys. So every year Stampin' Up! Does something called Online Extravaganza. And Rebecca, if you can't be part of Mystery Night, you can always catch the replay. So Online Extravaganza is a sale that they do around Black Friday. And it's always different. Sometimes they had a subset of parts. Oh, you can tell I'm in work mode yet. I sell parts during the day. But they have a subset of products that were for sale, or they always did different things. But I just found out today that Stampin' Up! Is doing an online extravaganza for Black Friday, but it's on November 24th, which is Tuesday and my father's or my dad's birthday. And so it is all day long. You get 10% off. And I'm going to be doing an incentive on top of it next week, starting probably Monday and going through Saturday. I'll have an ordering special as well. You may want to order on the 24th to take advantage of Stampin' Up's sale and then my promotion as well. But I haven't figured out what I'm going to do. Everybody got good ideas. It'll probably be something where if you spend this much, you get this much, and if you spend this, you get this, to give away extra things. So yeah, so watch for that sale. There are some exclusions in there, and I have an Excel spreadsheet that I'll post on my website so that you can see what's excluded. So, all right. Hi, Katie Schmidt's watching. Hi, Janet Furtek. Melanie got her paper pumpkin today. Wonderful. Okay. Bobby loves the Mr. Knight. I'm trying to catch up with some comments. Great, great. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we're about ready to get started then. So, who has been waiting for these poinsettia cards the longest? That's what I want to know. I feel like I designed these cards over a month ago, and I've showed them to you so many times, and I'm like, it's finally the night that we've all been waiting for these fabulous cards. So I had this class 2 times in person, and they just loved them. And they, it's like, which card you choose that you like the most. And it was really hard. So I do want to do a special call. I see lots of hearts. You guys have been waiting for these cards. I'm going to run through the roster, guys, just to call out people who are attending this class with me potentially tonight, or that may be watching the replay. But our list is watching: Francie Freeberg, Mary Carls, Wendy Kruger, Barb Barco, Lisa Lewis, Lila Erickson, Debbie Michael, Ruth Nicholson, Christy Warner, Brianna Laffman, Angela Tucker. Angela's watching with Brandon. Hi, Brandon. And then Mo, Kay Warren, Sherry Johnson, Becky Christensen, Brenda Loveless, Lori Kaiser, Marge. Aunt Marge is with me tonight. Ellen Brover, Gail Kane, and Crystal McBride. Judy Immel. Judy actually... Oh, she got the cards last night. Yes. Okay. Yes. Judy Immel. She was here for monthly class last night, and so I got confused momentarily. Brenda Crudwig, Nancy, Naughty Nancy, Becky Wagner, Kathy Ballard, Nancy Billets, Anne Van Willigan, Karen Beagle, Kelly Lamb, and Aunt Karen as well. Karen's my aunt. Kelly's my cousin. Dee, Serena, and then Jill Butson. So, my gosh, you guys, that was 33 people that are doing this class. Mo's here. Yay. Okay. So there would have been 8 more too, but that didn't work that way. So yes, I'm excited to be making these cards with you tonight. I hope that you guys fall in love with these cards. If you want to, you didn't get the kits from me, I made a PDF tutorial, and I know, Linda, you're looking for this. After the live is done tonight, what I do is I take the YouTube link and the Facebook link and I put them into the PDF tutorial, and then I publish it on my Cards by Christine Facebook page. I publish it on my website, and then for I believe $10 or free with a $20 purchase, you could get the PDF, and you'll have all the measurements, pictures, instructions on how to put these cards together. So, but I generally go through them pretty in detail while we're making them here too. So thanks for sharing our list. Oh, that's a good point, Cheryl. Hi, Joanna. I know a lot of you have shared this video already, and I really appreciate that. And if you haven't and you don't mind, share it. We're so close to breaking, I think, 1,600 likes on our Facebook page. So we're close. We're very close. So hi, Dar. All right. So I'm going to flip the camera down because you guys have seen enough of my mug shot for a while. This is the Poinsettia Place suite of products. This is the holiday catalog, page 15. There's some pictures of products on the page before, 14. And then it shows on the next page all of these stamps and dies that are part of the suite. So I actually have had a few customers that have only bought the dies. not getting the stamps. And I'm going to show you that if you have a lot of stamps in your collection and you got to pick and choose what you're getting, sometimes it's okay to just get the dies. A lot of the 3 cards that I made tonight were just using the dies. So very, very cool. So in this suite of products, there's different designer series paper. So this is the Poinsettia Place designer series paper. It's more subdued and natural colors, I guess you would say. It's a lot of the vanilla. I say vanilla. A lot of the vanillas, different greens and browns. And then these are the colors that go with it. And then in this suite of products is another paper product, and it's called the Plush Poinsettia Specialty Paper. So there's 3 different designs. And for those that are taking the class with me tonight, 3 of your cards are going to use each of these designs. I know that in my sample that you guys may have seen in the photographs, this card right here has a different pattern to it. And the reason I did that is that was the first card that, oh, look at that. That guy little moved on me. That was the first card I designed. And then this was the second card I designed. And then when I got to the third one, I'm like, oh, shoot. I need to use this paper for this card. And so I pulled in the third one. So if that's what you're wondering why the picture might be slightly different, it's because I wanted to have you guys experience all 3 of the different patterns of this plush paper. Like, listen, it's soft and velvety, and that's where the design is. You can sponge on this and add color. It's so cool. So also in the suite of products, we have the beaded pearls. They are gorgeous. The thing is, they're a little bit high, so you might have your postal office giving you a hard time about this. If you mail them, they might want extra postage, just because sometimes they can be a little bit like crazier than others, because they have to put it through that little envelope slot thing, and this might make it over a 1/4 inch, but this might be like definitely a hand deliver type of card for you, but don't not use these pearls because they are gorgeous. So that's part of it. There's also some red sheer ribbon. It's the real red. I use that on one of the cards, on the more classic Christmas card. The thing is with the sheer red, you see through it, and I want to show you why I put a little, I call it a sacrificial lamb in the card kit, because you're probably wondering, why is this in here? So I'm going to show you why I did that, but that's part of it. Thanks for sharing, Lila. How's everything down in Florida? I hope you're doing good. So these are the stamps and the dies. I mean, the stamps, there's a lot of them. It's 2 sheets of them, lots of sentiments. And with the dies, what I've learned to do, guys, is I use magnetic sheets. I didn't put these back in here properly. I just threw them in here, but you're going to follow along. Yay! Okay, so this is, there's sets of poinsettias, and there's these 3 where there's an innie and an outie. And you can see Kelly did a Tip Tuesday on this. I think it was one of her very first ones, the end of October, about using Post-it notes. I have something called a low-tack artist tape, and I just left them right on here. So when I cut these out, it imprints the veins of the poinsettia, and then it also cuts it out at the same time. Good, I'm glad you're doing good, Lila. So I have these 3 all prepped like that. Excuse me. Then what we have for leaves, the leaves do the same thing. So I did have them taped, but for class, one of the cards, it just uses the outline of them. So there's 2 size leaves, and these are the same things. Oh, there's a little bit of tape on there yet. So these do the same thing. You could put tape across the back of this, and then they would run through the big shot together. And then this little guy fits right in there. So all the dies that go with the poinsettia, so awesome. I think that's everything that's in the suite. So I just wanted to show you that if you need anything or can't live without anything, you just gotta let me know. My current host code is here, guys. So if you need to place an order and you don't want to wait till the sale next week, Tuesday, you know, you can get, if you order a minimum amount, you could get my snowflake class for free in December, or my monthly cards for December. So which one do we want to start with? Okay. Okay, you guys know I'm going to save the purple one for last. I'm going to build up to that one. I'm gonna do that one. Oh, we're gonna do that one first. Such decisions. If this is the hardest decision I have to make tonight, then I'm in good shape. So, for people that are doing the class with me, this is what your card kit consists of. Hopefully. I always put a little note out that if you're missing anything, you gotta let me know. I don't want you missing anything. I want you to have complete kits. But one thing I want to call out first is you guys have a piece of this old olive. It's part of your mat, but it's also called paper conserving. You have 3 that were cut out of here. When I made my sample, I forgot I needed a 3rd one. And I ran to the drawer and got a scrap. But this is what I call paper conserving, is using a mat that you don't see behind anyways to cut out pieces that you use on the top of the card. Let's get that out of the plastic so you guys can see that better. Okay, so in your kits, you have, oh, this one has so many pieces, guys. So you have a piece of garden green. This is the only card that I use the designer series paper on. I'll be honest, I use the plush poinsettia on almost the other 3, just all the rest. So in this case, I pulled in all the paper, like the colors that were kind of brought in. And I know it's a lot of green going on, but this is garden green. You have it scored at 4 1/4. The card base is 8.5 by 5.5. Grab your bone folder and burnish the edge of the card. And you should also have a piece of Very Vanilla. The Very Vanilla is 4 by 5 1/4. Do I have the, oh man, I don't have, oh, look at me. I have it right here. Cool. My cheat sheet of measurements. So that is 4 by 5 1/4. I used Real Red for my ink. And so this is one of the poinsettia stamps. Hi, Shar. And if you have this set, how you get this flower is you ink it up and then you would stamp it once like this. You'd ink up again, and then you're just gonna find, I look for the center, and then I just try to make sure the other petals are right in the center. And that's how you get a full looking petal like this, just from using this one stamp. So it says warm wishes from our home to yours. That's what I have on the outside. Let's see if I stamp. Oh, I stamped mine already. So when I'm making my card kits for class in person, I always make 4 sets, and what I do is I save 1 set aside here, and sometimes I do the stamping and sometimes I don't. But this, in this case, I stamped a bunch. This says warm wishes from our home to yours. So this little strip of paper right here is actually pretty small, and it is, I think that I grabbed there's the wrong card in here. I wonder if I put the other card in this one. Hang on. Oh yeah, I swapped those. Oops, hang on. Let me get that straightened out. Okay, because I was like, that measurement's not on here. So that little piece of vanilla right here is 5/8 by 3 inches. And so when you stamp it, you want to make sure that you stamp it closer to the right edge here. You do not want to stamp it over here. And don't worry about snipping that off yet. We'll worry about that later. You just want to make sure that you stamp the edge of this closer to the right so that you have that little margin. So that, again, is in the Real Red. And for a sentiment on the inside, if you have this set, there's definitely a really pretty Merry Christmas. And because this card is going to be a prize for somebody next week, you know, I got prizes, you guys. I forgot to tell you that earlier. I have, let's see here, I have these 3 cards, and that one is not sticking. I have 3 winners for these 3 cards later that I'll announce. Okay, let me grab a block. So this is a very pretty font for Merry Christmas. So for you guys at home that don't have the stamp sets, oh, I'm sure that you have something in your stamping arsenal that you can use to stamp some Christmas greetings on here. Hi, Diane. Diane made these cards with me already, so yay. So I'm going to ink that up, and we're going to put that near the top here. Give it some good pressure. I love Diane when she stamps. She lets it sit. It's so funny. I'm like, Diane, what's up with your stamp? She's like, I'm just letting the ink soak into the paper, just giving it some time. So that's exactly what you do if you want a nice, crisp image. Honestly, the longer that you let the ink soak into the paper and the more even you put pressure on, the better I think you'll get of a stamped image. I really do. And then Brandon's going to be proud because he loves it when I clean the stamps right away. So I got to make sure I do that and make him proud tonight. Okay, So we stamped the outside, the inside, and just so you know, a little flower on the inside here. Oh, Faith, thanks for sharing with 3 friends. You are amazing. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. So I'm so excited. When I move out to the hive, Monroe is the Amish guy. He's building me underneath my, you guys can't see it, but underneath my desk, he's building me, or underneath the countertop, he's building a drawer. And I'm going to be able to pull the drawer out and pull these things out from underneath. It's so exciting. Okay, so we're going to adhere the inside mat with a little bit of liquid glue. Now again, if you use tape runner, that's fine. If you use anything else, everybody's got their pick of poison when it comes to adhesive. So that's going to go there. Yeah, the script is really pretty. Diane says somebody really smart taught me that. That's funny. I think I know who you're talking about. Okay, so let's go back here. We've got some mats. Now, don't worry that your leaves are here. Don't start gluing though, guys. I want to tell you my method to my madness here. So the old olive is 5 and 5/16 times 4 and 1/16. I'm gonna bring in some real red. So everybody that did the class with me, I've already embossed this for you. So this is a wrapped in textile embossing folder, part of the mini holiday catalog with the warm hugs, I think, in the beginning. And so all I did is I put this at the top like that. And because the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the Boss, is wider on the sides, it allows you to put the folder in this way and it doesn't eat the sides. It's so awesome. So I've already embossed that for you. So that'll go on the top here. Your piece of designer series paper is 3 and 11/16 by 3. Thanks for sharing, Diane. And that's going to go here for our mat. So that's what we're going to do first, is put that on and get that glued. So we're going to be assembling from the top down on this card, and you'll understand why. I don't want to miss putting my tails behind. So we're going to glue our adhesive or our DSP down first. And you can see what I'm trying to do is line up these 3 edges so that they are uniform or about the same all the way around. Now, this is the piece I talked to you guys earlier about that I call the sacrificial lamb. The reason I pull in a piece like that is because if you would put this red ribbon on like this, it's like, it looks not good to me. I don't know, it looks like unfinished. Like the ribbon looks like it's not knowing what it wants to do. It's cool ribbon, and even here too, you kind of see the bumps behind and it's like not finished. So what I like to do, I call this my sacrificial lamb, and I do it with sheer ribbon. And those that have in-person class with me are probably like laughing at me right now because this little piece, I always tell, the sacrificial lamb, because it doesn't really serve a purpose except for it helps to make the sheer red ribbon look prettier. So that little piece is, what is it? It is 3/8 by 3 7/8. So you're going to take that and you're going to basically cover up your seam of the DSP. So it's the same length as the red, okay? And then it just covers up that seam. And then that is where we're going to adhere. So now watch this. When you put your ribbon down over the top of that, it just looks polished. It looks clean. It looks neat and orderly. So grab your tear and tape, and we're going to make ourselves our little bit of a ribbon sandwich. So I'm going to grab 2 pieces first and kind of guess where they need to go. Now, if you have double-sided tape, that works too. Tear and tape, that red tape works fine. But I love the Stampin' Up! Tear and tape. It works really good. And you can use it as single-sided tape or double-sided tape. So now you don't want to try to do this from the back. The reason I put the tear and tape long enough is so that I can have my card this mat in front of me. I can line it up exactly where it needs to be. And then I just tuck my tails behind one and then tuck the other one, just like that, okay? And now I'm gonna, some people would leave it at that, and you are more than welcome to, but I like to make sure it's really secure because I've had cards in the past that I've gotten where all of a sudden the ribbon pulls out from behind and it didn't have enough adhesive back there. So that's what I refer to as my ribbon tear and tape sandwich. And so now once that's good, I'm going to go ahead and put glue anywhere else but where the tear and tape is, because the tear and tape acts as adhesive right there. And so I'm just putting a little bit of liquid glue. You have to be super careful though when you guys do paper piercing or paper cutting out like this. If you're a person that puts liquid glue all over the back of this and you're going to put this down, you're going to end up with glue coming through these holes here, and it's going to go wherever you are. So whenever there's holes in paper like this, I generally try to put my paper together while I'm holding it, just as you see I'm doing right now. And then you don't risk getting glue on your flat surface where you're working. Hi, Angie Liner. Okay, so then flip that over, and we're gonna put there's a lot of layers going on here, guys. So another layer going down onto the front of our card base. You can see that. This is like one section of layer going on. Now, in your kit, you should have a stitched circle. You can see it's got the stitching around it. That's very vanilla. You have this strip, which is your sentiment. And this layer here, you're going to put onto your card front with a little bit of dimensionals. I'm just using hodgepodgey what's left here. And that's going to go. So I've got it. So it's pretty close to the edge over here, but I really wanted to see the ribbon poking through on this side here. And I know it's hard to see because it's red with red, but I put the circle so that you could still see a little bit of that ribbon peeking out there. Then this is what goes down next. So I said, don't worry about, hi Kathy. I didn't worry about that now or later, or it was earlier, but now you can see it's a little bit long. So what I'm going to do is grab my scissors and just trim a little bit off here. And this is going to get secured down. Like I got it right under the edge of the ribbon, and I'm going to put a dimensional on this side, and then I'm going to leave this side flat and adhere it with some liquid glue. If I'd put another dimensional on this side right here, this is already popped up, so it would double pop it up. Thanks, Mary Jean. Oh, don't forget to take the back of your dimensional off. So this is going to get lined up right on the edge here. So I do want to see a little red come through. So I'm going to go right about here. I'm trying not to get my head in the video. I'm good. All right, so that's how I got that going on. So what's left for pieces are, you guys, I gave you 4 poinsettia leaves. So there's 4 poinsettia dies. Let me show you this, just in case you're wondering, a tip for cutting out paper. So this is a quarter sheet of paper. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And how I cut all these poinsettias, well, Pat Torres helped me too. She was a little happy for me too. I found if I cut a quarter sheet of paper that these dies, the 4 of them, lined up perfectly. Oh, she's got my baby ones because she's cutting stuff for me. But these 2 fit like that. This one fit like that. And then there's a little, this guy right here, he fit right there. So what I did when I was prepping for this class is, because there's 3 poinsettias, a blue one, this one, and that one, I originally designed this card with only 3 layers of poinsettia, but you guys have 4. So you can choose to use the 4, or if you don't want to use all 4, then just use 3. But I wanted to show you how so if you're making a lot of these cards, like mass producing them, cut yourself quarter sheets of paper and then cut 4 of them at the same time. They all fit together. So that's why I wanted you guys to know I only have 3 here, but the same process is going to apply with you. You guys have 4. You're just going to add the extra 4th one behind. You're going to have a little bit less of vanilla showing there, and that's okay. But what I want to do before I start assembling, this is what you want to do this too, guys. This is your Stella pen. Now, if you don't have a Stella pen, definitely that's okay. You might have something else you can use to glitter, but these look super amazing when you Stella them. And I don't know, I have rubbing alcohol in there so you can see it looks wet, but you can see a little bit of that bedazzling going on. And on the bigger ones, you don't have to do the inside because they get covered up by the next layer. So again, just don't worry about the middle so much. And you can use your 4, or you can just use 3. And I think that might depend, how you assemble your card here. Now, don't forget your leaves. In all of these cards, you guys are going to have a big leaf, 2 big leaves, and then a small leaf. Yes, Mike, I definitely agree with you. Stella pens are a must. And Bonnie was over last night for class, and she just said that she had to refill 5 of them. So she keeps 5 on hand. So, so there you go. I've got those pieces. Now, this one I didn't do much to. Where you can see, I'm going to show you on this one, I used shimmer frost paint. This one I used a white chalk. And then this one I used Stella. So I did 3 different ways for these flowers, and one I crimpled and one I rolled. So in this, so what I would do is you have 2 options, and one is rolling the edges by grabbing your bone folder or something similar. And what you can do, don't rip your petals off though. If you pull too hard, I promise you that your petal will rip off. We don't want that. But you can do something like this, and what that does, you can see it curves it. And that looks cool. Definitely an option. And that's what I'm going to do on this card. How do you charge your Stella pen? Oh, Brenda. I have a really easy thing for you to do. Kelly, my marketing manager, she did a Tip Tuesday. And Kelly, I don't know if you're watching with Karen, but Kelly did a Tip Tuesday, and she might be able to tell you the day in the comments if she's watching. Otherwise, just go to the video section in my Facebook page and just scroll back a little bit, and she has it titled Refreshing Your Stella, and she shows you how to do it. Okay, so there's an easy answer for you, right? I love it. So Kelly and I are putting together, oh my gosh, the Stella's coming off on my fingers because it's still wet because of the rubbing alcohol. So Kelly and I put together a whole schedule. Our plan is that come the new year, when I'm settled into the hive, we are going to start doing Tip Tuesdays and Technique Thursdays together so that you guys aren't confused about who Kelly is. But you guys, Kelly's me. And you know, we work hard at everything together. So we want to make everybody happy and teach you lots of things. So what I'm going to do now is put a little dot of liquid glue in that poinsettia and then this poinsettia. And now, if you're using your bigger poinsettia, just use, you just follow the same process. And what I'm going to do is alternate these so that it fills in the hole in the middle. And then the next one then goes right over the top of it like that. Okay. So you have from this is from the, don't go on the floor. This little guy is from gold foil paper, and that is a die that's in the poinsettia set. If you had that adhesive sheets, that would be cool to make this into a sticker, but I didn't do that for all of you. So all I'm going to do is put a little bit of liquid glue right in the center of that, and that's going to go down. Now, you guys had in your kit, so these are the gilded gems. Ooh, oh, from Ornate Garden. Everybody got a combination. It was either a big one or a medium one. They both look really nice. I'm going to go with a medium one though. And so you should have had one loose little gilded gem, or that little guy, in your kit. And that's going to go right in the middle. So there we're making our poinsettia. Now, what I'm going to do is put my poinsettia down. I am not a person who attaches leaves to a poinsettia or flowers and then tries to figure out, I'm going to get my poinsettia exactly where I want it. And I'm only going to put a dimensional right in the middle. I'm not going to put adhesive all over the place. By doing one dimensional right in the middle, that will allow me to tuck my leaves in where I want them. And so what I'm going to do now is spin my poinsettia around. Now, if you have 4 leaves, or four, that 4th big one, you're going to have a little bit harder maybe of a time getting it to figure it out, but I'm going to look for a nook and a cranny here to see where it works best. So I'm just going to go around in a circle until I find the perfect spot for me where I've got a little bit where I can see my sentiment. So everybody's is going to be a little slightly different. And I think it was back here. I liked that one right there because it has still allowed me to see the warm wishes. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take another dimensional and I'm going to put it on the end of my big leaf here. And what you can do, you have 2 options, or you have lots of options, but you can use liquid glue or you could use glue dots. And so I'm going to put a glue dot. Come on, little guy, stick on there. Okay, so I'm going to put glue dots on the base of the poinsettia leaves like that. So I'm just doing all 3 of these right away. And rip that off. Then the dimensional. So the circle's already popped up once. And then this will pop up once, but I'm going to do a double stack on here just to have my leaf have a little bit more depth. And so that guy's I'm just going to sneak him in there. And because I only put dimensional in the middle, that allowed me to sneak that leaf in there. Okay, so on the little guy here, let's see if that's my glue scissors. The little leaf, oh, I cut that right off, didn't I? So I'm going to just put a dimensional there. My little baby leaf is up at the top. So he's going to tuck in. And again, I think I'm going to do the same thing. I want my leaf to be a little bit higher. So we're going to put a double stack of dimensionals behind this leaf. And that's going to go right in here. Okay, so far so good, everybody. And then the last one, oh, I think he's a little one. You guys all got 2 big leaves and a small leaf. I gave myself 2 small leaves and a big leaf. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to double stack that. How do you Brenda, I covered that. Perfect. You guys, no comments coming through. Okay, so this little guy is going to come around here. Now, here's my dilemma. When I put that one in here, I hit my circle, and that popped it up a lot. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to save that double stack for the next card, and I'm going to take a single one here. And when I put this single one, it's going to put it on top of the vanilla, which is perfectly fine. The other ones, they were off the edge of the paper. So now, here's this poinsettia is kind of loose everywhere. And you might want to have some more security. So after the leaves are in, that's where I'm going to go back and put a few more dimensionals behind the petals just to make it stronger. But now I don't have to contend with like where my leaves are going to go. So let's get that one there. And that makes it a little stronger. Let's see here. All right. I think that was it. That came together really nice, didn't it? First card done. Woohoo! Look at that. That's a beauty. So I hope that everybody got that figured out with how to put that. Now, I really talked and explained how to put the poinsettia and these leaves together, but just know that like it's pretty much the same process for all these poinsettias for all these cards. So I don't think, hi Judy Immel. So I won't have to go into that great a detail. So Judy, are you putting your cards together with me? All right, so that one's done. All right, so let's set him. Where are we going to set him? We're going to put him right there. Okay, which one next? We'll do blue one. Okay, so this is the Knight of Navy card. And my little guy here, that is what this plush poinsettia, this just is a good example. This plush poinsettia paper, it's hard to stick things to it. So this is my sample card. Hi, Hillary. And it didn't stick. So I think what I'm going to do is redo it. I'm going to reinforce it with tear and tape. So, so now you see that I didn't have enough liquid glue back there. So here's a perfect example. I'm wondering if that's why that just happened. So you can see here what is going on back here. So in your card kits, you have these pieces. There is a Whisper White thick card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. Now I've stamped mine with that same Merry Christmas and Knight of Navy, and I did the same thing with the poinsettia down here where I did this guy and do it 1 and then do it 2. Same like first strength for both. Okay, so that one, you guys can just go ahead, fold that over, burnish the edge. Okay, now in your kit, you have a piece of Knight of Navy. It's 5 1/4 by 4. Thanks for sharing, Cynthia. And I took the stitched rectangle dies, these, there's this one right here. And this is really called paper saving. What you do is you cut out the middle, and I just tried to center it as best as possible, and you just save this piece. And so what happens then is we're going to layer that, and then we're going to layer that, and then layer that. So and now you can see that on my sample how that came together. So let me just get this down, and we'll set that off to the side like that. And we're going to save that double stack over there. So you guys should have your 4 poinsettia pieces. I'm hoping I have a fourth little, well, here's the thing on this one. this sample doesn't use the smallest one, but in your kits, I gave you the smallest one because I cut all 4 at the same time. So you'll have a little one to put in there. Now my sample here for the live video, it's not going to have a little one. That's okay. You also should have your beaded pearl in there, and you should have a piece of the mesh ribbon. This is super cool. We use this a lot in the Halloween cards that I did a few weeks ago. This is part of the Halloween suite of products. It's called mesh ribbon, silver mesh ribbon. It's so pretty. You could use it for wedding cards. You could use it for wintry cards, any card. It's just such a pretty accessory to your cards. So you should have a piece of that. And let's see here. And then some rhinestones. I think you should have like 3 rhinestones in your kit. So to get going, what you can do is flip. So there is a top and a bottom to these. The smooth rolled edge is the top, and the more rough edge where the die kind of pushes down, that's to me always the bottom. So if you're not generally a picky person, you might not catch that or care. But if you are wanting to watch for something like that, just know that's what I look for. If you can generally see it, but if you don't always see that, feel it, and then you'll know which is the top and the bottom. So you're gonna put your mat on here, and it's about an 1/8 inch margin all the way around the sides. Oh, Shar said that she hopes, I think you're talking about this ribbon, you hope it carries over. I would be really happy if it carried over too, right? Okay. So this is the kit where you guys are different. My sample shows this paper, but when I got to designing this card, I used this paper because it was, I thought, prettier with this card. So you guys all have the other one. It's got a different pattern to it. So don't be alarmed. That's right. I did that I did it intentionally because with this paper, you got 2 sheets of each pattern. And when I made the 44 kits, then I could use pretty much equal amounts of all of the patterns. So what I'm going to do is put this liquid glue down. Now, I have found with this plush poinsettia paper, if you put glue underneath the white pieces, like the sections, I should say, you generally don't see it. But in this case, I don't even want to take a chance. I'm not going to put any glue around this. And so it's going to stick where the Whisper White base is. So press that good. Let it have some time to adhere. That goes right in the middle. Yeah, Judy, I love that ribbon too. You can use it. You guys should post pictures of what cards you've made with that ribbon. Okay, so this piece of white is 2 3/8 by 3 11/16. It's just pretty much a small piece of white paper, but I set the measurement so that it would fit nicely inside the stitched rectangle piece. And so stamp in Night of Navy. If you don't have Night of Navy, any blue that's similar or black will work, or choose a different color too. All you're going to do is adhere that to this navy stitched rectangle, just like that. So I've learned to not twist this as I go because sometimes the paper moves on you with liquid glue. Now you have 2 choices here. You can either pop this up or you can do it flat. I'm choosing, you saw I used tear and tape. Originally I used liquid glue, but I chose not to do dimensionals because this piece of glue measures to be the exact same size because I cut it out of there. So if you pop this up, you might see the edge of the white through there. So for this mat, what I am going to do is I'm going to use tear and tape and glue it flat so that you don't have the opportunity to see that white layer underneath there. That is really shiny. Let's move that. There. Okay. So take your tear and tape. Now I have nails, so you guys see me, I don't struggle so bad, but if you have a hard time with tear and tape, I've seen lots of people taking their pick tools and you can get underneath and it lifts up and then you can get a good grip on the waxy paper. So now this is going to get centered right over that white piece, just like that. Now push it down good. I don't think I gave my time to dry on there. So, okay. Now, how I did this ribbon, I did not, again, I like to put things flat on my card too. So in this case, this is my tip for this. I use tear and tape, and I put 2 pieces of it right, because this flower is going to go here, and it's a pretty big flower. So what you're going to do is take your tear and tape off, and this just is going to get woven back and forth. So I've got it going like this, and then it sticks to the tear tape. And because this is so holy, it will stick. So then I kind of squished it together there too. And then you're going to make like a little bow, and then make sure it sticks to the tear and tape. And then you're going to make another one, and then that little end's going to come out like that. And again, because that tear and tape, now I didn't put tear and tape there, so I'm noticing that it's not going to stick there. So I think just to help it a little bit, we're going to put a little tear and tape right there, and then that will make that piece like that. So don't worry, it's sticking up and down. Our flower is definitely going to press that down, but that's what I did, is I just wove it back and forth. When I measured it, it was in thirds basically. Okay, so another way to do your poinsettia. Now in this case, we have to use Stella. Stella has to make an entrance. So what you can Stella on, because I want to shimmer paint this, but what you could do on this card to add a little bedazzly with your Stella pen, just do the edge of your Night of Navy here if you want. That will maybe bling it up a little bit. Now, that's all going to get covered by the flower, but I'm going to try to do maybe a little there. So there, Stella made an appearance. Jean Maxwell will be happy. So little Stella around there. So back to these flowers. So I did a whole Facebook Live back when the pandemic started on using shimmer paint. So if you really are curious, I showed like maybe 4 different ways how to use shimmer paint. So Stampin' Up! Sells frost, white, and another color. I can never remember what the other color is because I always use white. We use this on the Fun Folds class for the Halloween spider webs. Super cool to put on there. So it's just frost paint. Some people put this into their the spritzers. But what I do is I shake it, and that gets it into the cover. And mine always just oozes out a little bit. It's so weird because I shake it into the cover. But so now you've got this stuff in the cover, and then there's a whole bunch of it in this jar. I don't generally go to the jar, but I'm going to kind of clean up the edge here a little bit just because I'm like, wow, that's all over the place here. So I'm just going to squish it right back into the into there. So these sponge daubers, we sell them as well. I think it's a pack of 5 for a few dollars, and they fit on my fingertip. If they don't fit on your fingertip, you can hold them like this as well. And what I just did is, you saw I run around the edge of that. The other thing I'll do is I'll dip right into the cover, but let's see how much I got on there. If you're not sure how much is on your sponge dauber, whatever you're working on, flip it over and see how much you have. Gold, yeah, I don't know if it's gold. They had champagne, and they had another one, and they eliminated 2 of them last year. So that's not a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into my cover. Now, do not squish into your cover. Just lightly dip into there. And I didn't even get any because I was afraid of doing... Okay, so you lightly dip in the cover. But if you look in that, it's going to be really... You saw my line here? Really thick. And I'm going to go on the back of one of these so you can see. So when you do it really thick like that, it looks like crazy. Like there's a lot of stuff. So I generally like mine to be softer than that. So and it's wasting it. I get it, but I don't know if there's really any other option, but you kind of go off to the side, and you saw what I did is I put a bunch of it on the side, and that softens it enough that you can so that it just gives it just enough iridescent glow. So what I do is I like to go in a little bit of a circular motion so I don't get streaky lines, and I'm going to go over all of my petals. Now, again, don't worry about the middle. The middles are going to get covered up by the beads in this case, and then the other ones get covered up by the one that's on top of it. So I've lightly shimmered over that, and that's even a lot. I don't even think I have it that thick on my card. You can see it's actually a little bit more. But as you continue to use the sponge dauber, it will lessen and lessen so that it's not as thick on here. And what happens is, as long as you're not pressing too hard, it won't go into the grooves. And so you'll see depth with the leaves of the poinsettia because of that groove not getting blue in it. Now, you can see that when I did that. So I'm getting less and less shimmer paint on my sponge dauber. Champagne Mist. Thanks, Donna. So it's champagne and white, but there used to be gold. And so I just love these. So again, I have a little bit left. I'm not going to dip back into my cover right now because I think I have enough. Now, you may not have the shimmer frost paint at home. You might have something similar. You could go and revert back to Stella. Stella loves to get action and sparkle up your projects, right? So you don't have to use this frost shimmer paint, but I just wanted to show you that's what I did on my cards. When you do dip into the cover, it gets around the edges and then it gets on your fingers, and just know that it's a little bit of glitter that might get on you, but it washes off. You don't have to cut off your fingers because you get glitter on them. I promise it comes off. So you may want to have the baby wipes handy just in case, or, you know, just get it wiped off. See, it comes off. Don't have to be worried. All right, and then clean that up. And then what I do is I take the sponge dauber and I will go into the kitchen sink and I will just wash it right out, and that comes out. And then I generally leave the sponge dauber for using shimmer paint. So you can see that I also picked up some of the color of the poinsettia with that, and that's okay. Or whatever else I used before it. So, okay. How was that? Did you guys ever see that before? Oh, Mike stacked up on that ribbon. You love it. Good, good, good. That is really, I love it too. So, our poinsettias are ready. So, I didn't do much craziness with this poinsettia. I probably just rolled the leaves a little bit, but I love the whole aspect. Oh my gosh, look at these guys. Okay, they're really shimmery. So here is what on this next card I did to give it that depth of looking real, besides the white chalk. But take and you can fold these. So you could wait to see if you like this look before doing this at home. But what I'm going to do on that middle vein, I'm going to be bending and folding. Don't worry, it's only paper. I'm just folding it. You can see it's giving it a really cool dimension. You're going to do that to all of these leaves, okay? Fold them in half. Don't be worried. You're not going to hurt the paper. Paper can't feel, as far as I know. And it will look cool when it's done if you do this. So fold all of those in half. Now you could roll them like we did on the last one. Like the usual, yeah, isn't that cool, Faye? So now that we have them folded, I'm going to take and put my glue. Now you can choose to use that other little baby one. I kind of forgot that I didn't use that on this one when I was cutting paper, so you guys all got some bonus pieces. Yay, to make really full, luxurious poinsettias. And now I'm, again, just filling in those holes so that you don't see that. Oh, this looks so cool. I don't know if you guys can see like how shimmery that looks. Okay, now with the liquid glue, I'm going to give it just a second. I'm pinching it, and that pinching gives that glue some heat, so it really sticks together. Okay, so that's going to go over here. Now with this one, because I'm not stuffing in leaves anywhere, I am not going to worry about just putting dimensionals in the middle, and I'm actually going to put probably 5 of them on here, just one on each petal. Let's put one in the middle too. Why not? I've got all these extra paper pumpkin dimensionals. I might as well use them, right? This guy's going to stick good. Hi, Elaine. Okay, same concept with this, guys. I'm going to look and I'm going to rotate him until I find how I think he looks the most amazing. And so I want to make sure I have that nook area and then how the poinsettia sets. So I really liked it like that, actually, because I feel like that gave a nice opening. And then you're just going to smush it good. There you go. See? And now you got the, you know, and honestly, if you have a little bit more or less hanging out, it's okay. Like, nobody's going to notice or know that at all. So you have a beaded pearl. So everybody who got kits from me, I had 3 beaded pearls for you, all in a little baggie, a little clear poly bag. So grab one of those out, and you could try liquid glue, but I did that and 5 of them didn't stick good. So I ended up going back and putting glue dots behind. So there's 3, oh, that guy just doesn't want to get on here. So there's 3 beaded pearls. And so what I'm doing is putting a glue dot behind each one. And that's going to go right in the middle. Oh, it stuck to my finger before it hit the paper. Ha. Okay, right there. Squish it good. Okay. So far, so good. How are you guys liking it? It's so pretty. Look at that. We're not done yet, though. We have diamonds are forever, ever, ever a girl's best friend, right? So I think I gave everybody 3 pearls, 3 diamonds. So this is another great use for your take your pick tool. When you can get that off of there, there's a putty end. And what you do is you can pick up your diamonds and you just squish them off to the side. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing it, and as I'm pushing it, then it loses the sticky to the this plastic paper, and it releases it. And then you can pick it off. So now I think, isn't that pretty? Oh man, all that glitter. Let's get that light there too. It's so cool. So that's the frost shimmer paint on the poinsettia. Okay. Okay. So we got 2 done, guys. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's put this back. Oh, it's so pretty. So that's Night of Navy. Honestly, these poinsettias, I've seen you guys saw if you didn't watch my swap cards showcase last week, you should try to watch it. There were a lot of poinsettia cards. So I said we're saving purple for last. So that means the elegant classic poinsettia is next. I have a hard time saying poinsettia because I always say poinsettia, but it's really poinsettia, right? So let's get this instruction card here. Okay, so we got 2 done. We're halfway done, guys. You doing okay? Do you guys need to take a bathroom break? Just take me into the bathroom with you if you're watching. All right, so I'm going to keep it going here. Lots of pieces in your kit for this one, too. Now, I have a hard time giving you guys, so people who are online, do the online class, I don't stamp for you. So I have a hard time when it's a stamped image that gets die cut because I don't know who has what. So I try to be over giving things. So what I did for you guys is I gave you a piece of white paper. I think it was about this size. And that white paper was to stamp your flower and 3 leaves. And then I also gave you 3 die cuts because these were photopolymer stamps. Maybe you didn't have the dies. Now you don't have to fussy cut. But I gave you 3 white pieces that look generally like this. 2 big leaves and a small leaf, and then the poinsettia. And you can choose to do however you want. If you don't have these stamps and dies at home, I gave you that white piece. You can improvise. Do something else. Be crafty. That's why I have the card class challenges, because I love to see how you guys recreate my cards without having the same things as me. So you have 3 white pieces, or excuse me, 3 white leaves, 1 poinsettia, a big piece, that's a scratch piece or a white that you can use for anything scrap. You have a piece like this that I've banner punched the end. This is basically 3/4 by 3 inch. And I have banner punch, there's this pick your banner punch. It's in the holiday catalog. And what I did is for everybody, I just stuck on this is the innie, and that's an outie, like your belly button. And so I did the outie for everybody. I just banner punched, like outie banner punched this. So the stamps come with the Happy Holidays. So Happy Holidays is in here. Now, again, if you don't have this set, be creative, stamp something else. I used Memento ink. So the Stampin' Up's black Memento ink it's not Stampin' Up's brand, it's the brand that they work with in their catalog. So I stamped the Happy Holidays. So while you're working on stuff, stamp your sentiment over here. You should have 2 pieces of these. So in my instruction sheet for you guys that are doing the class, I call them silver foliage thingies or bally thingies. I'm not quite sure, but they're foliage and they're cut out of silver foil. So you have 2 of those. You saw the ribbon here. That ribbon is one of my favorites. It's been around the block a time or 2. It's silver, metallic edged white ribbon. This is the ribbon that you can color with a blend. Oh my gosh, I should show you you know what? I'm going to color so you guys can see this. So I'm going to color in right here with the cherry cobbler. So this was a tip that Kelly did as well. You can color this ribbon. It demolishes the tip of your marker, so be very gentle. This marker's done a lot of coloring in its day, but things work. So this is a ribbon. that you can color with your blends, and you can have a matching color. Super cool. So that comes in vanilla and gold or silver and white. You should also have some more foliage thingies, and they're die cut out of vellum, the cardstock vellum. So there's 2 of these. Okay, so set those off to the side. You have a piece of the plush poinsettia paper. Okay, all this paper, you guys are all gonna have different like poinsettias on yours depending how it gets cut. But this is basically a 3x4, which is super cool. So you get 12 pieces out of one 12x12 sheet. When you're figuring yours out, you want to figure out how you want your poinsettia to go. So if I put this poinsettia down here, a lot of it's going to get covered up. I'll see this one. But if I put this one here, then I'll see the majority of that big one up there, and I'll have this little baby one right down here. So when you're figuring that out, keep that in mind. The mat here is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that will just get adhered to that. Okay, lots of pieces, you guys, and all this, so I don't want you to get confused at all. 4 by 5 1/4. You have just a white piece of paper. I've stamped mine because I was proactive. May Magic and Wonder bloom this holiday. So I stamped that in Memento, and I stamped this poinsettia. So it's the full one here. I just stamped that down in the corner like that. So you have that poinsettia, and then you have all the other dies fit as well, like individuals. So, but okay, then you have your mat or your base. 8 1/2 by 4 and nope, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and scored at 4 1/4 for you. Get that out. Hi, Barbara. You can set that off to the side. So I think that explains all of the pieces that you guys have. So let's go to your inside first. Now I know some of you might be working on your stamping, and there's a little bit of coloring in this, and I want to show you how I color with the blends. So on this one, once you've got your inside mat stamped ready to go, you can choose to color the poinsettia on the inside or not. Honestly, I think it looks nice not colored, but if you want to color, go for it. I might do it later, or whoever gets this card can always choose to color that themselves. How's it going, Barbara? Everything good in Arizona? All right, so put that down in here. And now, little bit of a lot going on here. We can go ahead and adhere this down. There's nothing stopping us from doing that. I had mentioned on one of the previous cards with this poinsettia paper, it's like, how do you glue it? If you put glue on the inside part, you're definitely going to see it. So I've learned that if you put the glue only where the white is, and you don't have to do the whole thing, but I'm just randomly choosing some spots here. I'm only going to adhere it where those white parts are. Beautiful weather, I bet. We had a gorgeous day today for November. I think it was about 50-ish, 55. So it was actually a very pleasant day. Don't tell me how I know that, because I really didn't go outside. I think that my mom told me that today was going to be one of the better days this week. So did you see that? I just set that down, and you can't see where that liquid glue is. I promise you, on one of my cards that in this next one right here, I got the glue outside the white area, and you can see it. It turns it darker. So just be careful while you're adhering that. Now I am going to pop that up with dimensionals. I've never been to Arizona, Barbara. It's on my list. My mom and I, we're going to get there. We've done a lot of traveling together, and we haven't gotten down there. We were going to do a 2-week trip down there, and just not now anymore, but we will eventually someday get down there. So again, I want to put my poinsettia at the top, and I'm just going to center this on my card base like that. So like so. After you have it down where you want it, then squish it good. If you're not certain, just don't press on those dimensionals until you're ready. Now this guy, what I like to do with him is put a little dimensional right on the end here. Oh, Barbara, I'm going to probably take you up on that. I always welcome people to my home that are traveling through too. It's what you do, right? So yeah, when the time comes, I will probably hit you up, and we're going to have lots of fun stamping time. I'll tell you that much. Okay, don't worry, guys. This is the right order for this. I haven't been sidetracked. This was how I put this together. So I only put this little dimensional right over here, And that's because we've already popped up the white piece here, and this is going to hang off over the edge. And it's about an inch of the way up. Did you notice I put liquid glue on the left side, and now that's going to now be smooth on here, but my end that hangs over isn't going to be flopping in the wind over here. It's going to be nice and secure on the end. Now, I'm going to press that good and make sure that sticks. Okay, so next we're going to work on our ribbon. So you're probably all worried, but I made sure to color that ribbon where it's going to be covered up. So same concept for this ribbon. I gave you a long enough piece that you're going to weave it back and forth 3 times. And all this conglomeration of stuff is going to cover up this tear and tape. So don't worry about that. So this is going to actually go over like so. And take that off. And I'm gonna trim my end here. So the weird thing about coloring this ribbon is it makes it stiff. It's not as pliable. It was really weird. It just makes it like that it's harder. So it's crazy how the ink on the ribbon does that. So I'm gonna trim this end at a nice little angle. So if I did good on cutting yours and you don't need to, you don't have to, but I'm gonna do that. And it doesn't matter which way the end goes, like this way or that way, but I'm trying to get this to come at an angle like this, and then I'm going to weave this back and forth. So I've got that. Now this last one, I'm going to go like that. Now I've lost all my sticky, so I'm going to put another piece of tear and tape right over the top of that, and we're going to maybe actually make that one a hair shorter, and I'm trying to get it so that you can see that nice curve, and then this one, it's going to come like that. Okay, so I'm hoping that we see our ends. That's the plan. So let's leave that off to the side for now. And I think you are only an hour from my sister's. Where does your sister live, Sandy? When I can fly to visit her again, yes! Oh my gosh, you'll be stamping with me live in the hive. That would be awesome. So I, through the magic of TV, already have colored a couple of my leaves, but I want to show you how I colored them. So I have here 2 sets of the blends, Mossy Meadow, Cherry Cobbler, and there's a thick and a thin end, and there's also a dark and a light marker. And using blends gives you texture, texture, like blending. It gives you lightness and darkness, and it helps you to, I always had a problem with markers, like water-based markers, that you see the streaky lines, and I didn't like that, so I generally didn't like coloring. So with blends, I'm a lot messier with the darker color. Like, don't worry about going outside the lines when you're working with these veins. Don't go outside the outer lines if you can. Grand Marsh, Wisconsin. I'll have to look up where that is. Hi, Carrie Peterson. So don't go outside the outer lines, but you can definitely wiggle around on the inside. So then you have your light mossy blend. And so I always like, now everybody has their own personal preference, and there's generally no right and wrong way. It's whatever you like the outcome for. But I like the dark first, and then I like to go over with the light. Now you have to be very nice to your tips, because if you color hard, they are going to get demolished, and we don't like demolishing our marker tips. So I generally try to go light little circles or to go nice swooshy lines. I don't try to press very hard. And this first coat that I'm doing is just getting color onto the leaf. And it doesn't look sexy yet, and I'll tell you. It looks like, okay, it's getting there. But now, give it a second, and we're going to do another coat. And the next coat, so you can see that there's hardly any color. A wise person once told me that the more color you see on the back, the better it looks on the front. So what you're going to do is do another coat. And so when you do this next coat, it's going to give it a little bit richer, darker color. And it's going to help to get rid of some of those darker lines. Like, they're going to blend out those darker lines where you did the first color. And we're going to get up there. So now, there you go. So there's another marker called a color lifter. And the color lifter adds like spotlights to certain things. So you can see I did a second coat. Now, doesn't that look nice? Lots prettier, and you can see there's more coloring on the back. Now, if you wanted to, you could do another little coat. Like, you could go back and you could add some more darkness to it, Like, honestly, if you're an artiste and you love to color, these blends are the most amazing things. You can color and feel like an artist with them. So, but if you go back and do more dark, you could just draw the lines like that. Just, it gives it this awesomeness. So there, that's how I did the leaf. Done with the green. Now you guys have 3 leaves to do. Don't forget though, Stella has to pull her weight here, right? So we're gonna Stella those leaves just like that. And now I got a little green in my tip there, so I'm just gonna brush it out slightly. All right, now the cherry cobbler. So let's see here. So let's see here. So I'm going to take the thick end. So I'm taking the darker one first. My thick end got beat up, okay? I had class. Lots of people came. My markers don't always last by the end of a class, but it still has plenty of color in it. So you can see this tip on here. Let's see if I can get that so it's not blurry. Oh, let's go over the white here. I'm going to go this way. You guys can see that the tip is really light looking, that it's worn out, but I'm still getting color from back here. So, and I'm going to color over the whole thing because I'm putting the pearls in the middle. Honestly, this is how I did this. I just did the middle because I want this middle area to be darker. Then I'm going to grab my thin end here, and then I'm going to drag in some of these veins here. Promise you, I know it looks ugly right now. It will get better. And I'm just taking this thin tip and drawing over the tops of those lines. This is why I like to do the dark one first. And then the light one comes the light one comes in and steals the show. Okay, so that's the dark one. It looks like a hot mess, right? It looks like somebody's eye that has red eye. Okay, so you take the light one, and now when you're doing the light one, so look at the back now. There's nothing on the back. We're going to show you the back when we're done. When you do the light one, you want to go back over the dark one and bring out the color from the middle and drag it out. So my tip again isn't the greatest on this one. It got love. And so when it comes to those finer areas, I'm going to pull in the thin end of the marker. And right now you can still see this circle around here. I promise you, we're going to get rid of that circle by the time we're done. That circle will go away. But what I'm trying to do is get as much coloring in here as possible. Angela, you have these blends. Are you doing a good job coloring? Are you letting Brandon help you color? So I'm going to pull this like this and get as much. Hi, Chris. And pull this. So again, looking better, but not so good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the fine tip end here. That's going to help me to get into these finer little points here. But that's going to give me another line. So don't worry though. They're called blends because you keep going over them until they are blended. Hi, Becky. I have your cards on the counter. And after card buffet, I'll have another set of cards for you, and you can get them on Monday. I think that was the plan. Hi, Pat. Your order is still on the counter in the mudroom in a grocery bag for you. Whenever it works for you to pop over and grab it, it works. Dee got a Stella pen in her order with her poinsettia. Dee was the lucky winner of the half-off poinsettia bundle I gave away at half off. So she added a Stella pen. So, okay, so it's looking better, right? But doesn't it look blotchy to you a little bit? This is where, and it still has this circle here, and it's blotchy. So now you're going to take your thick end, and you're going to soften that blotchiness, and you're going to help one more time to get rid of that circle that I did in the beginning. So you guys, I'm not an expert colorer. I don't claim to be a good colorer. My friend Gina is an amazing colorer, and she would knock your socks off with her coloring. And Gina is going to be a creative do a creative presentation at the Winter Creative Escape, and she is one of the most amazing colorers that I know. So watch this. You know, as I'm going around here, I'm trying to fill in as close to the edge without going over like on The Price is Right, so that I don't go off the cliff, right? So, you know, as I'm going around here, just keep filling in. And anywhere where you see that it's still a little splotchy, you're just going to keep coloring. I know this is like probably the most coloring you guys have ever seen me do. And I just wanted to give you a good blends lesson. Even Kelly, you guys all know Kelly, she's like, I need to learn how to use the blends. And so I did this special for her, so when her and Karen watch this, they can get a good blends lesson. So I was still seeing lightness here. So now I'm good with that. I think I can live with that. Didn't that turn out much better? Right? It's got some lightness, it's got some darker areas, but you don't see any of the lines, right? So you don't see splotchy. So that's how I colored that, everybody. All right, well, that was a little intense. You know, it's so funny when I have class and people have to color in class. They're so quiet. They don't talk because they're concentrating. But I was making sure that you guys knew what I was doing here. So same concept for this. I don't like to attach... Oh, you guys, that coloring was really bad. Hang on, I gotta change this light. Maybe that will look better. Okay, that, I hope, I was just looking at the Facebook and like the color of that poinsettia looked a little bit orangey. So I hope this lighting works better. So that's it. Okay, so I'm not gonna try, I see so many times people like to try to attach things to the back and then you put it down and it doesn't work. So in this case, I'm going to do the same thing as we did on the last two. I'm going to put a dimensional right in the middle on the back. And that's going to, I'm going to look for my nook. Okay, to me, that doesn't look so hot. I'm going to go this way and see if that looks better. I'm going to go in. So this, to me, the poinsettia is going up and down. That's not cool. I'm going to get this to the point where I think the poinsettia, I think it's this way, is how... So, something like that, yep. So this little nook here is great to go there, and it's gonna just go like that. Don't worry, we're gonna add to it. Next is a big leaf. He's gonna go over here. So grab a dimensional on, oh, thanks, Faye. You could use liquid glue, but I feel like if you use liquid glue at the bottom, it might spread around on you. So I put one dimensional here, and this guy's gonna go back over here and fill in this little area like that. And then another dimensional for the other big leaf. Dimensional on the end, a little glue dot on the inside. This little leaf. Now, depending on how yours is, like this isn't going in as far as I want it to. Just take the end, fold just a little bit of it over, and now it will go in further for you. And that one's going to go right about there. And then this last one, let's see where he ends up. He ends up on the red over here, right? So you got to be, and we got to be careful with him. We might just stick him on the side here. So in this case, oh, he's going to be my double stacker. So he's going to be off the red paper enough that he's already stacked up once for this layer and once for more. He needs more. So then what you're going to do, he's going to wiggle in. You can even move your ribbon just a little bit. This one's going to kind of tuck in here. You don't want to be hanging over the edge of your red card base though. So, and don't worry if it's all wiggly on you. We're going to get it pickled in a second here. So that's going to go on the side. Now you have all your foliage pieces. Don't overthink it, guys. You're building a floral arrangement, so you're like a florist tonight. So I have this vellum one down first, so I'm going to put a glue dot right on there, and that's going to stick, you're going to tuck that underneath here. And then the silver one, put a glue dot at the base right there probably for that. Don't worry about all that stuff. I'm going to even actually fold that. Then that one's going to tuck in here like that. Then you're going to repeat this process on the bottom. Oh, he just doesn't want to stack. All right, then this one's going to go down here. Now again, if you need to, fold that end so it can squish up in there more. Okay, and then the last little guy, these, if you need to pick out, some of them have the insides in yet. You're definitely have to fold that guy over and then add another glue dot down here. And then that last little bit's going to go, let's get him down. That's going to go right about there. Okay. I mean, that's how I put that together. it just seems to make sense to me. But now it's not really sturdy. So this is where I'm going to go back and add a dimensional here. I'm going to add a dimensional there. And then one over here. Now, one more. I feel like this is a little floppy over here yet. So we're going to do one more right there. Good. Okay. So, oh, we didn't poinsettia the poinsettia. We didn't Stella this. So, put a little blitzy glitzy on here. Now, if there's red in your Stella, just wipe it out. And, oh my gosh, we're right at the end. Don't forget your beaded pearl. Again, I used 3 of these. And one more on that one. And the crowning moment right here. Oh my gosh. Okay, squish it good. That's it. It's not rocket science, right? Yep, that's about it. So we got the little tails coming out. The foliage, I mean, honestly, I don't know of an easier way to put that together to get it to look like that. Because if you're going about trying to attach things to the back, it might cover up your words or it might go off the edge of the paper. And so the other thing that's super cool, if you want, you could Stella these little pieces of vellum foliage because they could have a little glitter on them as well. So whew, I think I like that one a lot too. You guys, I'll be honest, these poinsettias were just so fun to work with. And I'll tell you, the Snowflake Showcase for next month, or Snowflake Splendor class for next month, was so much fun too. They were just so easy if you sit down with the suite of products to just make beautiful cards. Okay, one last look at that one, and we're going to get into the big purple. All right, my favorite. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so I had a little scratch paper in here just so you could see what we stamp on the inside. And you guys liked that when I saw hearts coming through. So I don't know why my lighting looks, you guys. Does it look so yellowy to you? Oh, I think it looks okay for now. So purple. Okay, purplelicious right here. Oh, you guys, lots of little bits and parts too. Okay, so let's just set them off to the side for now. And let me explain to you. Oh, you got a beaded pearl. You got these. Let me explain to you what we have going on here. So we have a piece of thick whisper white that's 8.5 by 5.5. Yes, Sandy, definitely watch that Stella video again. So scored. Now, whenever you use thick paper, it's really good to score the thick paper because otherwise you're going to have those weird creasy things. So always score that. So making sure that the corners meet good. Okay, bone folder got a workout tonight. So set that off to the side. We shouldn't need the bone folder anymore. So just remember, this is a horizontal card. And with the horizontal card, you just want to make sure you stamp your innard right. So, all right. Now, you guys have yours die cut. And I wanted to show you how I die cut it because you might be wondering. I definitely, all of yours are going to be slightly different depending on how I line them up on the Big Shot. But like here, you can see that I curved it up a little bit. I tried my best to get everybody's to be like matching, symmetrical or whatever, like all following the same curve. But some of them got a little bit off and a little bit shorter and a little bit longer. It was all like it was just like I tried. So this die cut is part of the Curvy Christmas bundle. Now, this actually, the Curvy Christmas dies come with a different stamp set, and then you can add on the Curvy Christmas as an extra thing. And that's where I pulled out my sentiment where that comes from. But the die, this guy got a workout too. Look at that. So this die is what cuts the bottom here. And you have to be careful if you have these dies at home. The one side cuts out and the other side doesn't. So one of these I cut upside down and they didn't end up with circles. So I went up and had to grab new paper. But just so you know, like there's, that's how I cut this. So we're going to bring in the boss. Okay, don't worry. Oh, hi, Loretta. Yes, watch the Stella replay. How to refresh your Stella. Okay, so this is the boss, guys. I'm going to try to bring this in here. Oh, I think I'm on something over there. So, sides, flip her down. All right, so plates would be good. They're right here. You guys know that I have very loved plates. They have gotten a workout in their day. And what I did first, now on certain like paper, like if you do DSP and cardstock, you could probably run both of them at the same time and it works just fine. But for this, the plush poinsettia paper was a little bit thicker, so I didn't want to do it. So what I did is on every one of yours, I kind of figured out, well, where's this one going to go? And I set that down on the machine like so. And now I have to find some Post-it notes. I usually have some painter's tape here, but Post-it notes work good too, but I don't want this wiggling on me. This guy started to get a little curvy down me, so I'm going to definitely use some Post-it notes to hold that down so it doesn't wiggle on me. So you want to make sure everything's lined up good. So this is what I did for all of yours. So I cut this like that. One to pass on the machine is plenty. And so what I did then after I cut it, oh, I hope I had that right. Oh yeah, I did. So you guys are going to have to poke out all your little holes yourself. I didn't do that for you. So then what I kind of did is I measured to make sure, oh, okay, that looked about right. Then I was happy with the purple. Then what I did is I did your plush poinsettia piece next. And how I did that is I lined this up. I don't know if you guys can see this, but so you see my margin is the same on those three sides. Then I took the die. Now that's wrong. It needs to go this way. And I lined it up. And I brought it back about a 1/4 inch or so. So I don't know if you guys can see underneath here that I lined this up. I held it. And then I left this 1/4 inch around the back side. You can, oh, here you can see the shadow here. I have a 1/4 inch back there. So then what I did is I taped it with I actually have painter's tape. I didn't use all Post-it notes, but I got that where it needed to go. I moved this aside. Now you guys can appreciate the complexity of this cutting for this card right here. So hopefully it doesn't move on you. Run this through. Okay. And I'm going to move this off to the side right away so it's out of my way. Hang on. There we go. Let's get this back there. Okay. So then after I cut those for you, I made sure that they looked okay. So I did pretty good on this one. You can see that it, as long as I had that. Some of you might have yours like that. Some might be like that. And honestly, you can see on this one, it's a little bit off, but it looks beautiful just the way it is. Nobody will ever know that it's not meant to be that way, right? That's how it is. So that now you can, you guys, I have a hard time with scraps. So I just putting it in the garbage, not gonna even think about it. So now if you're good, what you should do is take the time. And if you have this at home, poke out these little things out of your die so it's ready to use the next time. So this is my trick for this. Instead of going poke, poke, I try to just run my pokey tool up and down it as best I can and hope that they just fall right out. Okay, so that kind of worked. And you gotta be more precise about some of these other bad ones. Okay, there's a brush tool that you could use, but that's what I would say to do for that. Okay, all right, so you guys should have this ready to go. Then, hi Mary Carls, how are you doing tonight? Okay, let's get, I'm just putting the dies away so that they're in their home. Okay, stamping. Let's do a little stamping first, and then we'll work on our poinsettia. So this Thinking of You at Christmas is part of the Curvy Christmas. I know a bunch of you have it. So when I go to stamp this, I'm going to put my purple piece on here to get a good idea of where it's going to go. I'm not going to stamp blind with like just guessing. Now the other thing too is this has this weird, it's got this curve and it follows it except for the TH curves down, and I didn't like that. So I actually, you guys, you can alter your photopolymer stamps to a certain point. So I put my TH so it was curving up and it followed the curve. So you can move these and like make them go whichever way you want, right? So I want mine to be pretty much the way it was, except for I'm going to take the TH and MacGyver it up just a hair. So that's what's going to go right there. That rhymed. Hair and there. Next, grab out these are photopolymer stamps, so it's really good to have a little bit of the cushion underneath. And ink that up. Really good. You guys, you don't get many shots at this. This is like, you get one shot, make it a good one. Okay, so take your time, ink it up. I'm going to go back for one more little bit and then do what we did earlier. Give the ink time to hit the paper. And, oh, Mary Carl's, oh no. You know, but you're recovering. That's a good thing, right? I feel like at this point in our days, it's kind of inevitable that most people are going to get it. So I am praying and hoping you recover good. So you guys see here, I'm just hanging out and I wanted to make sure that the ink set on there really nice and that I was giving it good even pressure. So like I said, you guys, you get one shot because if you don't stamp that good, if you go inside out with it, you're going to see it on the bottom on the inside. So that's why I really wanted to take my time with that. Okay, now on the inside part, we're using some more of the poinsettia stamps. We hardly used any of them. You guys, you know when I design cards for classes, I try to design them in a way that it uses a lot of dies so that you guys are successful with your cards, so that they're really close to mine. So I'm stamping the foliage, ball things, berry things in Mossy Meadow. This is two-step stamping, and so you have your berries here. They're going to be your blackberries. Haha, get it? Blackberry Bliss. That's what we're using. Now, they line up a certain way, so you kind of hover over the top. That's what's nice about photopolymers. You can see where they go. We're going to hope and pray that they go where you want them. And then on the inside, I have Merry Christmas. So thinking of you at Christmas, Merry Christmas. Those sentiments came from the Curvy Christmas. And I'm going to ink that up good. Okay. And just go for it, guys. Give it a second. There. Okay. That's it, guys. 3 things that get stamped. Well, 4 with the berries counting as 2. All right, let's get this all cleaned up. Move this off to the side. And now we're gonna work on assembly action. Okay, so there's nothing stopping us from adhering this to this, right? So you guys know the trick by now. Dot, dot, not a lot, and try to only get it. That one might ooze out. You only need a little bit in some key areas, and then it won't show behind the vellum. I'm trying to go really thin and sporadic. Okay, there's that. Let's get that. Now, when you put this down, you don't want to be smearing it all over the place because the glue will smear. So try to get it exactly where it needs to go the first time without wiggling a little bit too much. Okay, so, oh, I got a little glue there. Let's get that out of the way. Now, flip that over, and we're going to put a little bit of adhesive around the back of that. That's going to go on our front right here. Got that 1/8 of an inch margin on the left and the right side. Now, depending on what you guys use for your stamps down here, you could use something small and skinny down here. Itty bitty greetings, teeny tiny wishes is the older version. Those would both work really good down there. If you have the curvy, definitely use it. All right. Purple is your favorite color. Oh, mine too. I do love red and purple, but I've loved purple for a long time. Okay, now, so that is done. Let's pull out all your bits and parts. So we have here big poinsettia. So it's like dad and mom and 2 babies. So you guys have 3 of them. And I've done the work ahead on 2 of them, but I want to show you the other 2 how to do them. You should have 2 leaves that are large and then the one that's small. And you have 2 silver bally foliage thingies. And then you have, these are white ones and they are the bigger ones. So we don't need these right now. What I want to do is show you the white part here. Oh, side note, you guys like to kind of get ideas of where I get inspiration. I think, I take it that way. So this card, I was inspired from this card. Completely different, But you can see what I copied is this piece right here for that as the background. And then I took this and I made the whole poinsettia thing going on. So this was a swap card I got probably 3 years ago by a Wendy Lee. I have no idea who that is, but that was her card. And so I just like to give credit where credit is due. So there's a white Stampin' craft pad. And you can tell we used it in class. We got a lot of purple action going on there. So I will clean that out later, but I knew I had class tonight. So you're going to take a Stampin' sponge. I always cut my sponges into quarters, maybe even 1/6, but a lot goes a long way, so you don't need a lot. And that's all I'm doing is I'm sponging the edges. Now, you don't need to do that middle because you don't see the middle. It gets covered up for the most part. And so this is what gives this poinsettia that like velvety real look. It makes it look like you want to touch it and it's fuzzy. I promise you that's what that looks like right there in person. You guys know that pictures never do cards any justice. So hopefully you guys have this white ink pad at home and you can give it a whirl and see what it looks like for yourself. But I'm just lightly going around the edges. You want to be careful not to overly do it, right? So we're just, and as I'm trying to get in the crack here, I'm just moving the other one back a little bit so I can just get in there. And I'm not doing all of it. I'm just going around the edge. You guys can kind of see that I just run around the edge. So we're going to do the big one yet. So let's start there and roll that. Have you guys ever used the white craft pad before? It's cool if you use it for, so that got a little thick on me. It's cool if you use it for embossing white. So like you use a white craft pad and then with white embossing powder, it makes it look really white. So it's really good for embossing. Also, if you need to stamp on black or dark colors, the white ink pad is great for that. And also, this is the only pad that you get from Stampin' Up! That it comes dry. So you need to re-ink it. So you buy it as a set. You buy the pad and the re-inker at the same time. They do have a refill only option, but I believe it was about 4 years ago when I got the ink pad and it was dry, and I called them and I'm like, hey, it's dry. And they're like, yeah, it's supposed to be that way because they don't like to send out the white ink pads inked because they will dry out. So they always like to send the white ink pad not inked up and you re-ink it as you need it. Okay. So I got that little edge really white. So I'm going to try to do a little bit more there. And then this last one is our leaf. Do the leaves too. So I did my other two by the magic of TV. They were done already. So let's get these. And yeah, you know what, guys? It's really crazy. It's like the flu is going around, allergy season, changing temperatures. Everybody seems to be getting sick, and it's like, oh, just get it and get over it and be done, right? And then can't we all, like, we're so excited just to be healthy again. So, all right, you guys, ready for this? We're going to do the same thing with these as we just did with the blue one. I love that this gives it this look. Oh my gosh. Like, so don't be afraid. Bend your paper. Bend these creases right in half. And then we're going to assemble it and glue them together. Mary, are you making your cards with me tonight? I know you got a set of kits. So you'll hopefully make yours tonight and get them done. So this little guy, as these petals get smaller, they are harder to fold. Like this last little guy he's like a little bit difficult. So you got to just get right in the middle and fold. And it's hard to, it's really hard to do this one. So I'm just taking my 2 nails and getting right to the center. And then I'm taking my fingers, my index fingers, and just folding it in the back and pushing it kind of up. That's all I did for that. Okay, leaves too. Don't forget to do these, guys. Give them a nice center fold. Don't be afraid. It's only paper, as Naughty Nancy would say. Okay, we need a dot of glue that one, that one, that one. Okay, it's okay. If you guys don't want to do all your glue at the same time, you don't have to, but I like to only open up the glue bottle as limited time as possible. So, oh, you don't want to touch them yet. I get it. So they'll be there waiting for you when you are ready. That is the nice thing about these card kits, is that you guys can put them together at your own pace whenever you want. Okay, so that's just going around. And then this last little guy is going to fit right there. Now that I got that last one in, I'm going to give this like 10 seconds because this glue needs to really set and bond on this. But look at that. Isn't it? Okay, you guys can kind of see how cool that's shaping up to be. Okay, so if you don't give that enough time, it's going to want to fall apart on you. So just make sure you give it some time. We're going to move that over. Okay, that's our poinsettia for the purple. Okay, so you have your 3 leaves, 4 foliage things, your poinsettia. Same concept. I think you guys, if you learn one thing tonight, you learn how I put flowers together. So this, I think I'm going to go around until I get it to go where I want it. Something like that. Okay. Now we're going to do big leaves and then a small one. I'm going to just put the dimensionals on the back, which is the bottom. That must be the bottom. Okay. Pick those off and then grab your glue dots. We're just prepping these. Okay. So get that to stick good. And then that one. And the last one. Okay, let's look at this guy. So I've got one going off to the side here. It's going to fill in like that. Now again, if you don't want to quite press down hard, you don't have to, because you might want to move them. And this way, if you want, you can pull it off and move it. So we're just going to kind of see what looks good. And then this one's going to go up here. I know, Hillary, I saved my favorite one for last, you guys. Okay. Now that's going to go here. And now what I'm doing is eyeballing the edge here where my curve is, just so I kind of have it looking good. Then we're going to get these guys. Yes, Connie, you're going to want these dies. Honestly, did you guys see the card Kelly made? Okay, so in her Tip Tuesday, she shut the envelope with the aqua painter, but the card that she shut was her fall card. It had Happy Thanksgiving on it, and she made that in Technique Thursday a couple weeks ago. And all of those little petals were all the poinsettia leaves. Yes, super cool. So I think I did the white ones first. So I'm going to tuck that one in here. And then you can see I always fold those because those little sticks are really long on the end. And I don't want that hanging over the edge of my card. And because I use a glue dot, it'll stick down. Then this one is going to go right about here. And I have it hanging down over the edge of the curvy a little bit. This guy, I'm going to fold him. And he's going to tuck. And so, again, I can tuck these in wherever I want them. I think that looks good. You guys like that? I mean, we're not done yet. We're close. But now you've got this poinsettia that is not very secure. So now go ahead, push all your pieces really good. But this poinsettia is floppy or flimsy because we only have one dimensional securing it in there. So now this is where I'm going to pick up and go around the horn of these petals and give them some more structure and support so that they don't want to be all loosey-goosey here. So there's one that's going to go there. And then also these dimensionals are going to help secure your foliage parts down a little bit more as well. So there's going to be one back here. And let's feel that. Now that's pretty secure to me, okay? Like it's not all floppy around. So cool. Last, guys, we're almost done with these. My goodness, this is a long class, you guys. 2 hours. I hope that you're still doing okay. I knew that these poinsettia cards were more detailed and more involved, so I was prepared that this was going to be a little bit longer of a video for you guys. So hopefully you're all staying awake and doing okay because they're so pretty. Okay, are you guys ready for it? This is like the glory moment for me, is putting this on here, because that makes it steals the thunder in the show here. So oh yeah, Christy, that will work perfectly fine. You know, you said that you put a little too much glue on the right side, so you used your flower to cover it up. I don't know if you've stamped your sentiment or not, but if you have, that's all right. Put some rhinestones. I'm sure you have bling at home. You can decorate if that looks like it's empty. But like, that's it, guys. That's our purple people eater card. So yeah, like this is the card that I would love to get in the mail from somebody. Like this is like would make my day. So not that's not a hint or anything, guys. I'm just saying like anybody who did this class that makes this card, you're gonna have a tough choice in deciding if you're gonna give this card away or not, because it's just gorgeous. So okay, let's recap really quick what we did here. It's only 6 o'clock by you. Oh my God, Sandy, I forgot. You're 2 hours behind. What is it? It's 8 o'clock. Yeah, so it's only 6. Yeah, I forget you guys on the West Coast that you're like, my friend Carrie lives in San Diego and she's always up a lot later than me because it's only 2 hours behind. So that's awesome. 8 p.m. for Connie. Your mountain time. Okay, so you guys are good. So I was like, Lila, I know you're probably at 9 o'clock. So yes, so you guys don't go to bed that early. I'm sure you're like me and night owls. So, all right, let's look at what we did, guys, because I love showing all the cards at the end to you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here they are. Let's put this guy here because he goes front and center. So that's it. You guys have a favorite, right? I'm curious if it's the purple one, like mine. I mean, they're all pretty. Like, I'll be honest with you, that green, it was really hard working with this designer series paper. Christy, you're 6 o'clock too, because you're out in Washington. Yep. So Minnesota for Connie. Okay. So it was really hard, I'll be honest with you, using this DSP. The colors were not my cup of tea, kind of, if I have to say, where I love these regal colors, the cobbler, the navy, and the blackberry bliss. I love it. And then those were the 3 that I used. You can tell I didn't use the designer paper a lot. I just used this, but they're all pretty. Honestly, anybody who gets one of these cards, I'm sure is going to be on seventh heaven. Is that how they say it? Yep. So, purple, then blue for Mike, purple for Bobby, blue. Yeah, these are so pretty. I just want to look at them with you guys, right? There they are. So, if you don't have these beaded pearls, guys, that is definitely something you might want to consider getting them, because I'll tell you, the mini holiday catalog will be retiring. It's sad to say it, but it's happening. Guys, we're already at November 19th today, and that means that there's a month and not even a half left of the mini holiday catalog. And the mini is this guy right here. So, just know that he's almost done, and then we're going to be making way for this one, this beauty. So, I have to warn you guys, if there's things that you want, and for everybody who's watching, if there's things that you want, you better get them starting now, because they're while supplies last as they get to the end of the catalog, and things will sell out. So, like that mesh ribbon, we don't know if that's going to carry over. If you love it, buy an extra roll. If you love that snowflake DSP, buy an extra pack. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff that's going on sale, but you know what? The sale for on Tuesday is annual catalog, not mini catalog. So if there's things that you want now, you don't have to necessarily wait for the Stampin' Up! Sale on Tuesday. So purple, blue, and then cherry cobbler. I know, Francie. I was so torn with the green one, and I just needed to use the DSP. We all have our favorites, so they're all pretty. November 24th, big sale, my dad's birthday. He was born in 51. It's 20, so 73, I think he is. So, yes, that's what we're doing Tuesday night. We're celebrating my dad's birthday. So, there is a sale in November, Connie, so I'm not sure what time you joined, but on the 24th of November, which is Tuesday, it's called Online Extravaganza. And it's a Stampin' Up! Sale that they do every year around this time. And it's almost the entire annual catalog is 10% off. There are certain things that aren't on sale, and I have a list of those. And what I'll do is, you guys, where I upload documents into my website. So if you go here, my website is cardsbycrispy.com. If you go to my newsletter section in there, I will post that list in there. It's an Excel file, or maybe a PDF. I can put both in there, but that's where you can go to see the list of what's not included. Like paper pumpkins, not included. they had white paper and vanilla paper not included. It was just like 60 things out of the whole annual catalog, maybe 80 things that weren't included. Happy birthday, Janet. It's a little early, but it's coming up. So yeah, oh, the November birthdays. My mom always says, what was 9 months ago and what was going on? Valentine's Day, was it maybe? And that's why we have November babies. My mom always does that math about what was going on, why there were so many babies in a certain month. So, all right, do we cover everything? My birthday's the 22nd, and you're something, you guys, wow. Yeah, you were born the same year then. So, did we forget anything? I always feel like I get to the end and I rush through and I'm like, did I forget anything? So if you guys didn't catch the beginning of this Facebook Live, wait for it to upload and go back and watch it. I had a lot of different things that I showed with upcoming classes, the cards, and then also the Winter Creative Escape. So 1950 Thanksgiving, yes. And my dad's birthday falls on, I think it was on Thanksgiving last year. So, okay, we're going to do the winners, though, for the monthly class for last week. I think that was the 12th. Now COVID babies. Yes, I know, Connie, right? So they're starting to be born, right? Because we all got on lockdown sometime in March. And so there's gonna be lots of babies. I said at the beginning, I don't like to talk about like politics and all like COVID stuff. You guys generally know that about me. I kind of like want to just have fun and stamp. But I did say back in March that there's gonna either be a lot of divorces or a lot of babies because of this crazy corona that's going around. So, but anyways, that's just my little thing, and we'll see if that happens or not, right? So, all good. We got to keep it lighthearted, right, everybody? So, just a reminder, Paper Pumpkin Live is on Monday night, and we'll start at 6 p.m. Central, and then we have Thanksgiving next Thursday. So just a reminder, don't be looking for me on Thursday because I'll be in a comatose from the turkey. So you are January 1st, baby. Yep, you're right, Mary. I am January 1st. I was supposed to be born on the 28th, but I didn't push hard enough, and so I became a New Year's baby. So, all right, so these are the cards I have. So you guys, next week, on Monday, I'll announce who won these cards. But for now, drum roll. Okay, winner, chicken dinner. Rhonda Ayers, you are the lucky winner of this card. What I do for giving these cards away is it's liking, commenting, and sharing the videos. So Rhonda, you are the lucky winner of this card. Drum roll. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's Herbie. He's little Bumblebee. Okay, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, Sharon Rowland, Rowland. Sharon, you are the winner of the Herbie card with the coming home with the northern star up in the sky. Okay, drum roll. Okay, these little pearls just did not want to stay on here. So, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, Robin Allen, you are the lucky winner of this card. So that's my tree angle card from last week. So I will be putting a little Facebook post out. Where's that go? Right there. Facebook post out tomorrow morning to make that announcement. I will need addresses for some of you guys. I don't know. You'll just have to private message me your address. Sharon and Robin. Rhonda, I have your address. So, all right. On that note, I think we did good. We were just over 2 hours, and I think that was all right. So thanks, Judy, for congratulating everybody. Thanks for sharing the video, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday night, 6 p.m. right on the dot. And we are going to do our mystery night. Have your clues, or have your materials ready, and we'll go through the clues. And I'm so excited. You guys have a great weekend. After the cabinets and the doors and the drawers are all done, I'm going to take a picture and post it hopefully by the end of this weekend or early next week of what the floors look and what it looks like in the inside. So you guys that are long distance, you're going to have to make a special trip up to Wisconsin to visit this lovely area and to take a class with me in person sometime. Everybody's always welcome to the Hive. And for those that are local, you guys are going to come and check this out whenever it works. So I'm so excited. Oh, I made it go fast, right, Connie? Yeah, it went really fast, didn't it? Just like the month of November. I don't understand how it's the 20th tomorrow. Crazy, crazy. All right. You guys have a great weekend. Lots of love and hugs and sunshine to all of you. And I'll see you Monday night. Love you. Bye, guys.